Hey guys, I'm Mark from Portion of Sport and welcome to week 14 of the Premier League review. If you are new to this series, what we do is we take a look at the Premier League results from the past weekend, we then take a look at the Premier League table, and we finish by looking at the Premier League top goal scorers. So here is a list of the Premier League results from the past weekends along with their timestamps in the video. If you want to hear about a specific game, just go to the time in the video next to the match and you will skip out all the other crap. But without further ado, let's get into our first match. And we start with Bournemouth versus Liverpool. In the first 20 minutes of the game, Liverpool were undoubtedly the better side and they got what they deserved when they went ahead in the 20th minute. It came when Emre Can played Sadio Mane through on goal. The Senegalese international was able to hold off Nathan Ake and then slid the ball underneath Archie Burke and put the Kop 1-0 up. And Liverpool would double their lead only 2 minutes later, and it was Divock Origi who got the goal. It came when Jordan Henderson played a ball of dreams through to the Belgian, who was one-on-one with the keeper. He touched it round Archie Burke and finished from a ridiculous angle, and I mean ridiculous. And how about this for a stat? This is the first time ever that Divock Origi has scored in back-to-back Premier League games. Bournemouth would have the perfect chance to get back into the game when they got themselves a penalty in the 56th minute. It came when Ryan Fraser got brought down by James Milner after being on the pitch for only 30 seconds. Callum Wilson stepped up to take it and slotted it into the bottom left. But Liverpool would retake their 2-goal lead 10 minutes later when Sadio Mane had the ball on the right hand side and he pulled it back to Emre Can outside the box and he curled it top corner, first touch, gorgeous goal. But Bournemouth would not go down quietly, as in the 75th minute they got themselves back into the game again when they made it 3-2. Came when Bournemouth catch Liverpool on the counter-attack and a ball comes into the box which 3 Liverpool players swing their foot at but miss the ball, and Ryan Fraser was on hand to drill the shot into the net. And 4 minutes later, Bournemouth would equalise the scoring when Steve Cook got on the score sheet. It came when Ryan Fraser put the ball across the goal from the right and Steve Cook was the man on hand in the 6-yard box who turned and slotted the ball home. And Bournemouth would complete the comeback of dreams when in the 93rd minute Nathan Ake put them ahead and won the game. It came when Bournemouth played a ball into the box from the left and Liverpool do what Liverpool do best, and they can't get a ball clear and Karius can't catch anything. Drops it, Nathan Ake was the man on hand to put the ball in the net. And that is how the game would end. Bournemouth won. I'm going to talk about Liverpool, you all know I am. Dear Liverpool defence, you're all a bunch of spastics. Loris Karius, you're a goalkeeper and you can't catch a fucking ball. Lucas Leiva, why are you playing centre-back when you're a 5'2" midfielder? And Dejan Lovren. Dejan fucking Lovren. I don't know whether I hate you or love you. You do amazing things, but then you fuck it all up by having a mare. Pick one, be good or bad. You can't have both. Liverpool are now beaten for the first time in 13 games, and I just can't think of any other words to use other than we're fucking shit. 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 And we move on to Tottenham versus Swansea. Tottenham were the better side for basically the entire game, but they couldn't find a way through, and it would take until the 39th minute for them to get a goal. And it would come from the penalty spot when Carl Norton tripped Dele Alli in the box and the referee pointed to the spot. Harry Kane stepped up and took the penalty into the corner. And 5 minutes later, Spurs would double their lead and it was Son Heung-min who got the goal. It came when the ball was in the air and Son leaned back into the ball and smashed home on the volley to make it 2. And 5 minutes into the second half, Tottenham would add a third to their tally and Harry Kane would get his second. It came when Son Heung-min is played in by Dele Alli and the South Korean couldn't control it the way he would have liked to, but out of nowhere Harry Kane takes the ball off of him and powers the ball past Lucas Fabianski. Tottenham would really be adding to the misery as when in the 70th minute Christian Eriksen made it 4. It came when Dele Alli had the ball on the left side of the area and Lucas Fabianski can only deflect the shot up and into the path of the Dane, who heads home one of the easiest goals he's ever going to score. One final nail in the coffin came in the 92nd minute when Tottenham would get their 5th and Christian Eriksen would get his 2nd. Came when Moussa Sissoko of all people got the assist when he laid the ball off for Eriksen as he drove home the shot. And that is how the game would end. What an emphatic win for Tottenham. And after suffering their first defeat of the season last week, the best way to bounce back was with this massive win. In the end, it probably could have been double figures, let's be honest. And we move on to West Ham versus Arsenal. Arsenal were undoubtedly the better team for the first 25 minutes, but they couldn't find their way through. That was until their 2 star players linked up and put the Gunners ahead. It came when Alexis Sanchez picked up the loose ball and made his way into the box, and he could have taken the shot, but he unselfishly squared it for Mesut Ozil, who tapped in for an easy goal. It would take until the 72nd minute for the next goal, but to be honest, Arsenal should have had about 2 or 3 before half time. They were that good. But Arsenal would get their second in the 72nd minute, and it came from Alexis Sanchez. It came when his first touch takes him past Anthony Makuanu, I probably butchered that, and he makes his way into the area before finishing past Randolph. And Arsenal would add their third, and Alexis Sanchez added his second when Mesut Ozil tried to make his way into the West Ham box, but he gets tackled, and the ball sprung loose to Alexis Sanchez before the Chilean international dragged the shot back across Randolph for his second. West Ham would look to get themselves back into the game in the 83rd minute when substitute Andy Carroll got his first goal back from injury. It came when Dimitri Payet hit a free kick from about 20 yards out, the ball hit the bar, and on hand to head home under no pressure was Andy Carroll. But Arsenal were quick to put the fire out when they added a fourth less than a minute later. It came when Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain got himself on the score sheet when he finished from the edge of the West Ham area. And 2 minutes later, Arsenal would finish the romp when they got their fifth and Alexis Sanchez completed his hat-trick. It came when Mesut Ozil slipped the ball into Sanchez, who faked Randolph before calmly chipping it. And that is how the game would end. Good performance from Arsenal, brilliant performance from Sanchez, horrible performance from West Ham. Enjoy the championship, mate. And we move on to Manchester City versus Chelsea. The game was pretty dead in the first half. City attacked, Chelsea defended, Chelsea attacked, City defended. But the one main thing to come out of the first half was the fact that Chelsea still had 11 men on the pitch. David Luiz should have been sent off. Sergio Aguero is basically through on goal. All he has to do is get past Luiz and he's one-on-one with the keeper, and 99% of the time it's a goal. The ball is loose and David Luiz comes and takes Aguero out with a nudge, and the referee doesn't even give a foul. Are you daft? Clear foul, clear red, clearly blind ref. But Chelsea would go down goal-wise in the 45th minute when Gary Cahill put the ball into his own net. It came when Jesus Navas has the ball on the right and he puts the ball in. Cahill doesn't know who was around him and tried to volley it clear, but it ended up going top bins past Courtois, and Manchester City went 1-0 up. But in the 60th minute, Chelsea would equalise, and it was the league top goal scorer Diego Costa who added another one to his tally. It came when Cesc Fabregas picked out Costa, who out-muscled Nicolas Otamendi before smashing home the leveller. And 10 minutes later, Chelsea would take the lead when Diego Costa sent substitute Willian through, who held off Alexander Kolarov before putting the ball into the back of the net. Chelsea would confirm the comeback in the 90th minute when they added a third and final goal when Eden Hazard got on the score sheet. It came when Marcus Alonso pinged the ball forward, Hazard picked it up, outpaced Kolarov, then drilled it inside the near post. Right, we all know what happened in this game, so let's do it. 2 red cards in the space of what, 2 minutes? Maybe less? Both City players. Both stupid actions that got them sent off. First one was for Sergio Aguero when he came in 2-footed on David Luiz in an absolute horror tackle, man. He got him on the knee. I'm surprised David Luiz isn't injured. That was a career-threatening one. How is David Luiz not dead? Let's be honest. And then the next game for Fernandinho, who got sent off for pushing Cesc Fabregas over the advertising billboard. He was bloody good. Why is he pushing? He thinks he's in WWE. That's what he thinks he's doing. And that is how the game would end. Chelsea continue their winning streak, taking it up to 8 now, and Manchester City could be in a lot of trouble for these next few weeks. Aguero suspended for 4 games. He misses the Arsenal game, but is back for the Liverpool game on December 31st. The only other name that they have got is Kelechi Iheanacho, and to be fair, Iheanacho is class. And how about this for a stat? In this game, Manchester City were ahead, but went on to lose this match, and this is the first time that this happened since April 2009, when they lost 3-1 against Fulham. And we move on to West Brom versus Watford. West Brom would take the lead in the 16th minute when Johnny Evans converted from a set piece. It came when Chris Brunt put a corner in at the near post and the Northern Irishman nods in. Simple. West Brom would double their lead in the 34th minute, and it came from another set piece. This one came when James Morrison rolled a free kick into the path of Chris Brunt, who powered the ball low into the net from about 20 yards out. Watford would get themselves back into the game in the 60th minute when Christian Kabasele put the ball into the net. It came when Watford put the ball into the box in a corner and Troy Deeney rolled the ball back across the box and Christian Kabasele was on hand to tap in. But West Brom would put the game to bed in the 91st minute when Matt Phillips added another goal to his tally this season. It came when he played a 1-2 with Darren Fletcher before he sent a left-footed shot low into the bottom corner. And that is how the game would end. West Brom looking brilliant recently. It's 6th win in a row this season, and they're actually challenging Manchester United for 6th place. Who ever thought I'd be saying that? And we move on to Crystal Palace versus Southampton. Crystal Palace would take the lead 30 minutes into the first half when Christian Benteke put the home side ahead. It came with a weak back pass from Jose Fonte towards Fraser Foster, and the ball bobbles a little bit. It left Foster swinging his foot at sweet nothing as Benteke put the ball into the open net from about 3 yards out. And Crystal Palace performed what we like to call a misery compiler, as 3 minutes later they went 2-0 up. When a corner on the left is flicked on by the man with a godly beard, Joe Ledley, and James Tompkins was unmarked, back post, tap home, easy. And Crystal Palace would put the game to bed in the 84th minute when they got their third, and Christian Benteke got his second. It came from another corner and the ball is put in by Jason Punchin this time. James MacArthur gets on the end of it, but his shot is rebounded, but only as far as Punchin, who cut the ball back for Christian Benteke, who was unmarked as he put the ball in the net. And that is how the game would end. Crystal Palace got the win that they desperately needed. But can they win next week? Or can they string some decent performances together? Because they don't. Alan Pardew, you ain't got long left, mate. And we move on to Sunderland versus Leicester. Finally, in the 64th minute, Sunderland would break the deadlock. Yes, that's how long we had to wait for a goal. It came when a driven corner comes in and hits Robert Huth into the back of the net. Robert Huth on goal. Sunderland would double their lead in the 77th minute, and obviously it was their finisher Jermaine Defoe who got the goal, obviously. It came when Duncan Watmore's shot is blocked, but the rebound fell straight into the path of Defoe, who finished easily. It's what he does. But Leicester wouldn't go down quietly, as in the 80th minute they got a goal back when Shinji Okazaki flicked in from a Damari Gray cross. But that's how the game would end. I actually don't really know what else to add to this. It had goals, but it's quite boring. So yeah, Sunderland came off the bottom. Leicester lose again. Really nothing else that I can add to that. And we move on to Stoke versus Burnley. Stoke would take the lead in the 20th minute, and it came when John Walters put the home side ahead. It came when Walters met Diouf's low cross with his right foot, and he arced the ball over Paul Robertson inside the far post. Stoke would double their lead in the 35th minute, and deservedly so. It came when Marko Arnautovic had the ball on the left. He found Mark Muniza to put the ball in the back of the net for his first ever Premier League goal. And that's how the game would end. Stoke deserved winners in the end because they bossed Burnley in the first half, and even though Burnley got back into it in the second half, couldn't take the chances, and yet another loss away from home for the Clarets. And we move on to Middlesbrough versus Hull. This game was dead. This game was dead. And the other thing we were talking about was the event that split the teams at the end of the match, when in the 60th minute Middlesbrough took the lead through Gaston Ramirez. It came when a Victor Fisher cross is played in at the back post, and completely unmarked was the Argentine, who was able to nod home easily. And that's how the game would end. Even though the game was dead, Middlesbrough deserved winners. Middlesbrough all over them every single start. Gaston Ramirez had a goal disallowed earlier in the game. Alvaro Negredo should have scored at least one, as he missed 2 clear chances in the match. But this was Middlesbrough's first win since August, and Hull continue their horrible run as they have now lost 8 of their last 10 games. And finally, we've got Everton versus scum of the earth, Manchester United. The first half of this match was the definition of dead. Not a single shot on target until the 43rd minute, and when that on target shot did come, it went in and Zlatan Ibrahimovic scored. It came when Anthony Martial cleared the ball from his own half, and that drew Martin Stekelenburg off of his line. However, the keeper is beaten to the ball by Ibra, who lobs him, and the ball bounces off of the bar, then the post, and then it finally trickles over the line. Marwan Fellaini came on from the bench for his 100th appearance for United in the 85th minute, but in the 89th minute, Jose Mourinho would be regretting the decision to bring him on, as he gave away a penalty. When he clumsily brought down Idrissa Gueye in the box, and Leighton Baines stepped up to take the kick, and he buried it bottom left corner. And that is how the game would end. Everton the better team in the second half without a doubt, and in the first half, let's be honest, neither team deserved to be ahead because they were both trash in the first half. But honours even in this one. So that's all the fixtures I've got for you this week. Before we go, let's take a look at the Premier League table and top goal scorers. So first, let's look at the Premier League table. Starting with the top 5, and as you can see, Chelsea still top of the league with yet another win this week. Arsenal move up to second following this week's thrashing of their London rivals West Ham. Liverpool slipped down to third following only their second loss of the season this week. Manchester City are fourth following their loss to Chelsea, and Tottenham are fifth after getting back into winning ways convincingly this week against Swansea. Moving on to the bottom 5, and as you can see, Swansea are bottom following their defeat to Tottenham. Hull are 19th with their loss last night to Middlesbrough. Sunderland are 18th, picking up 3 points this week against Leicester. West Ham are 17th with this week's demolition against Arsenal. And reigning Premier League champions Leicester are 16th with yet another loss this week to fellow strugglers Sunderland. And moving on to the top goal scorers, as you can see, Diego Costa is still top with 11 goals and 5 assists. However, he has company following his hat-trick this week. Alexis Sanchez is also on 11 goals, however he only has 4 assists. Sergio Aguero is third on 10 goals, and he won't be adding to that for a while as he's suspended for a minimum of 4 games following he sent it off this week. Sunderland's main man, Jermaine Defoe, is fourth with 8 goals and 2 assists. And making up the top 5 is Eden Hazard, also on 8 goals, but on 1 assist. So that's all I've got for you this week. If you enjoyed this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It means a lot, and I'll be back next Tuesday for the next episode of the Premier League Review. I've got a new microphone, so hopefully I sound a little bit better. You might, it might pop sometimes because I haven't got a pop shield for it yet. That's coming on, I don't know, Friday I think it was. I'm bloody no. Amazon, hurry up, get me it. Come on. But let's get back on script. But if you want to follow me on Twitter or subscribe to my personal YouTube channel, the links to both are in the description down below, or they should be popping onto your screen about now. You can click them on mobile, so go on, give them a click. But I've been Mark from A Portion of Sport, and I'll see you soon.